Hello, Norwood Superstars. Let's get started with the Norwood News newsletter for today's edition, Friday, February 26, 2021. So we have condensed a lot of information here for you. For school reopening, it's mostly the same. Just if you haven't filled out the survey to have your child return for hybrid learning, make sure you just click on this link right here. We're going to have all links and everything in the description of this video as always, but it's going to be direct link to the survey. Just remember, it's one survey per student, and this survey that says Norwood is only for this school. So if you have children in other schools in the area, you need to fill out their respective survey from that school, which should look pretty similar. Ours is bilingual, so it gives you some other options and flexibility. You have until May 7th. We have down here the same exact requests for in-person learning. On the left side is the phase that your children belong to. So phase 2 is the most common one. It's preschool through 2nd grade students. Phase 4 is regular 3rd through 12th grade students. And then here below these weeks that say for all, that's just if you haven't decided yet and you're waiting, or if you didn't do it as early as those first dates that were possible. So if you waited until later and you fill it out between March 27th and April 9th, as you see here in the bottom, then the earliest your child can start is the week of May 3rd. And your cutoff is May 7th. That's the latest that you can do it. That's all the same information. If you have any questions, just let us know. Also, here's some written and video resources. If you missed the family information sessions, they were extremely helpful communicating the changes in our policy, like when you walk around through the hallways, the expectations for hand washing and mask wearing, social distancing, and how that's going to look like in the rooms. So if you missed that, it's actually all nicely summarized. If you click on the official Norwood Reopening Information Guide, it's going to be a link here to a PDF that you can download onto your computer or your phone. Remember, if you're looking at it from a phone, these options, they're like the sky is on a little icon of 3 bars, I believe. You click on that, and then you can actually download it and see it better on your phone and zoom in and zoom out. But it's all nicely summarized. It's all bulleted. It's not a very long read. So for the amount of information that's in here, it's quickly summarized, and it's only 2 pages. So you should be able to breeze right through it if you have any questions. Some of these things are very common sense and logical, but others may catch you a little off guard in terms of just being not what you would think, or just because they're much more involved. So do give that a look, because we don't want to catch anyone by surprise when things come up. There's even a mentioning of early dismissal. That's a big one. There's going to be certain points and times where it's just not even possible, because all hands are going to be on deck to help with protocols and social distancing. So to just request out of the blue that your child gets out early is going to be very difficult on some days. So make sure you're aware of that and what you can and can't do, and what you should and shouldn't do. Now, we also have some videos. All these videos, most of them, we shared during the family information sessions, like the arrival procedures at the school, the getting breakfast when they arrive, moving through the hallways, the washing of their hands, how to best do it, and when to do it. Face coverings, there are better face coverings than others, and there are some that are not even allowed. So it's good that you'd watch that. This is new, and this is from the county, actually. And also from the county is a guide about the health screening, the daily health screening. Now, they don't talk to you about the form and how you're going to get it and when you're going to get it. Just remember that you're going to get it when your child first comes back, and then at the beginning of every month thereafter, you fill it out that one time, all the information, you sign, and then you refill in your emergency contacts, because they may change month to month, and then you send it in as soon as possible after you get it with your child. And so that just keeps us up to date. But this video has all the questions in the questionnaire. It's very informal. No COVID testing is required. No vaccination or proof is required for COVID. It's just an informal verbal checklist to make sure your child feels okay and is not showing any symptoms. And staff is all going to be taking that as well. And the last video that kind of ties it all together, this Let's Stop the Spread of COVID-19. It's just some tips and best practices. And for those of you who are just wondering how this is all going to even work, that's just a very good overall summary on what to keep in mind and how this is happening. So our next bedtime story session is going to be Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021 at 7 p.m. Thanks to everyone who keeps tuning in. And our new readers are going to be Ms. Hoer, Ms. Schwartz, and Ms. Petro. So we hope to see you there. Remember, meet through Google Meet using the code norwoodstories. Now, the message from Nurse Debbie is mostly the same. If you have things that are pending, like you first registered a student to kindergarten or pre-K, and you have things left to do, please finish those things, whether it be your physical examination, the blood test, giving us your dentist information, your doctor's information, any of that stuff. If it's pending, proof of vaccination. We're not talking about COVID. We're talking about your run-of-the-mill vaccines when you first register for the school. If you've already done this, you're fine. But if you have yet to finish that, please talk to her if you need to know about places to get those run-of-the-mill vaccines at low cost. They do have some in the area. There are some clinics, even if you don't have health coverage. So that's important. Call the school. We have the school phone number and Nurse Debbie's email that you can reach out to. The only difference is that you cannot fax anymore. We've been having some problems with our fax machine. We're sorry if you tried to use it to send over from the doctor's office some forms, but we're going to need you to pick them up yourself and then either mail them to the school or coordinate with us. First, call us. Don't just show up. Call us and then coordinate when you can drop them off so we can get them off your hands. Lastly, if you want to bring a change of clothing, including some socks maybe, just due to any personal accidents, or just there's a lot of mud outside from all the snow that's been around for so long. If you're worried about that, your child tends to be a little messy when they go outside or walk, then you can always do that. Just put it in a plastic bag. We'll close it up. We'll put their name on it and label it so that we can then put it in their locker. The annual stakeholder survey is just something we do every year to gather input from the community, from teachers, students, parents, caregivers, just about how things have been going for them, what things they'd like to see differently or improved upon. I know this often gets ignored, but it's really important because it helps us know what to do better, what to change, or how to tailor things for your needs. So please take just a few minutes to fill that out. You can get to it from the home page here where it says stakeholder survey. You click on it, and then the survey is going to be available in 16 languages. Or you can click on the direct link to get to the survey, and we'll have all of that again in the description of the video. Internet Solutions hasn't changed at all. Just click on the flyer, and then you can then get to the different internet solutions. Mostly the library is providing the majority of them, like hotspots and Chromebooks. The Chromebooks, remember, you're on the hook for being financially responsible if they break or they're lost. So a lot of families haven't opted to do that for that reason. But if you happen to have a child who would be responsible and you guys are waiting endlessly for a new computer, that is an option. Same thing with hotspots at the library. You're on the hook too, but they don't cost as much. Only about $30, I think. So that's not as bad. But keep in mind that Comcast still has its Internet Essentials plan for low-income families. All of that stuff is still the same. You can reach out to me if you have any questions about any of their information. And there's a Spanish helpline that we use. It's this other number that ends in 9518. It's not the same as a school number, but it gives you more flexibility to call or text or leave a voicemail. So even though it's for Spanish-speaking families primarily, if you want to use it to just, you want to make sure you call back if you can't call during the school days, you can drop us a message there. It's fine. We're checking it, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So that is always an option for you too. Other than that, my information is at the bottom of the footer here of every single written newsletter, so reach out to me by email or call the school. And thank you all for your patience and your understanding with this crazy transition to reopening. And at least we have some new warmer weather coming in. We are really optimistic for all the changes. They're going to be for the better, and we can work together to make this work for everyone. Whether you're virtual, whether you're hybrid, you change your mind, it's all going to be great. And once again, thanks to all the staff that have read and presented during the morning announcements about Black History Month. We've learned a lot about a variety of leaders like John Lewis, Barack Obama, Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X. There's all sorts of historical figures, Muhammad Ali, that we've all learned about. And so we just want to thank them all for lending their voices to these amazing people that have contributed to our American society. So have a great weekend, have a great week, and keep on learning.